Hey, live. We're back from Louisville now back to Vegas. That's where we are. Oh, we're back. Man, what another nice week of fights. Some people didn't like the card as far as like most of the fights, the way it turned out, but we saw there were a couple good fights.
Cannonier got played.
Yeah, we'll just recap real quick and then we'll talk about that. But in Louisville here, we did medium here together. Nesto at 1-3, only minus 1.3 units though. He had Ricky Tercio as a big dog, got finished. Cannonier got finished, but some people say early stoppage on that one. I mean, I can see I would have let it keep going a little bit for sure. But at the same time, that shit happens. The randomness happens. And then we got the return of Dominator Reyes.
Slept fucking
big underdog too. So kind of exactly how we were reading it, like, hey, this is like a buy low spot when everyone is like over Reyes, right? Like they're like, oh, he's done, he's washed. Then now you're like, oh, at plus money, I'll take him. But like when when everyone was hyping him up and he was like minus 250, minus 300, like those were sketch.
Also though, the close fights though, like I say Cannonier, like you could have argued it was tied going into the fifth, but we never know. And then also, and Tercios, how do you expect when the other guy has a fucking chin of the Goonies and shit, where you can't fucking, you know what I'm saying? Because he had that rear naked choke lock, but that big ass chin, ain't no way you fucking getting through that.
He had the guillotine too, right? He had a guillotine on him, and then it broke off.
No, yeah, but the rear naked was like sunk, bro. It was like
somehow
was stopping it.
That's that 19-year-old shit, That's that. And his body's paw is starting to shape up into more of like a man body as what he was like when he first debuted in the UFC. He was still having like that teenage body with like not full muscle mass yet. Now he's starting to like fill in his body and starting to become that like 19 going on 20, 21. Like that's when you start getting into your top physical shape. I feel like so. The kid could wrestle. I mean, his hands or whatever, but it was a good test for him. So he passed that one. The one you got incorrect too was a parlay here. We had Marcos who won. Andrea Lee was the one that fucked it off because Prates and Brad Katona won as well. Andrea Lee, I actually ended up betting on her as well. And she was disappointed. I mean, she didn't look terrible, and then it just she blew it at the end.
Yeah, she just didn't. The third round, it was whoever won that third round was gonna win it, and she didn't do nothing.
Yeah, I know on the show I was like, yeah, there might be value on Montana De La Rosa, but throughout the week, as I kept thinking, I was like, I mean, I don't think Montana is truly better at anything, but she did enough to win, so that shit was kind of disappointing. And then for me, I went 2-2. I got plus 0.35 units, so nothing big there, but I got Imamov with that knockout win, and then Reyes at plus 170. And then the two I got wrong here was my boy Marquez got nuked. The dude that with the Miley Cyrus fanboy.
Oh yeah, bro.
Julian Marquez. Yeah, he got fucked up. And then Mora and Ferreira, I had a parlay. Ferreira did win, but Mora ended up being disappointing and getting upset, beat up. So it was a decision, I believe, right? But she thought she won, but nah, she didn't. She didn't. I didn't think it was a robbery or nothing like that. So unfortunately, that was the case. But hey, we move on to the next week. Nothing too crazy. We're going back to the Apex. So I know now, like it's like the Apex is definitely losing its little glow, right? It was more like a COVID thing, but the Apex is sketch now. But let's see what we got for the folks. New week here. We got an interesting card. The headliner for this card, some of you, if you don't watch a lot of UFC, then you might not know, but it's Alex Perez. Again, he's there like, getting real active, making up for lost times against the prospect from Japan, Taira. What's his first name? Tatsuro Taira. So, but we're still going to do it like Diddy and start with the bottom. And then we're going to check it here to Shailang Nurgenbecki against Megquizal. I don't even know how to say his name, but last name's Costa. Everyone knows this guy because he has vitiligo. And, he's actually a pretty decent prospect here. Costa is a minus 190 favorite. You got other homie here as a plus 165 right now on Bet Online. So, you like anybody in this fight? Go first.
Nah, I'll probably just go with the cool hat guy because this guy he played me in the last fight.
Cool.
He got his
Yeah,
ass knocked
he's a
the fuck out.
prospect. He was a prospect here, but lost to Steve Garcia and got finished in that fight. And then before that was Austin Lingo. So he's been back and forth. I mean, every time he stepped up a little bit in competition, it's been tough for him. And you got the Asian dude here. Damn, some of these ads. Wolverine. Shailin Becca here, 39 and 11. He got hella fights. 30 years old, but he's Asian, so he kind of looks like he like 26. You know, looks a little younger, but he has a lot of fights. Big knockout power guy. He could grapple too. He also lost to Steve Garcia by finish in the second round in his last fight. So both these guys lost. If you don't recall, this is the guy that was involved in the fight before this with Derek Minor. And that was the fight where James Krause pretty much got busted out for being sketchy with his like inside info. And that's when all that shit happened. So it was the fight that this guy was involved in. But I don't think he knew. He wasn't involved in any of that shit. He just ended up winning and reaping the benefits of winning. So, yeah, I mean, he's always going to be live and dangerous, but I am going to go with Costa here. The price tag's okay. Minus 190 is a little steep. I think it's the right price, but I do think Costa wins here. I just like him overall better. The only thing I feel like he doesn't have that's better is probably the power. He doesn't have the advantage in power, but I think just ground game's going to be better. He's decent on the stand-up. He could probably keep up. And, you know, maybe he got a little vitiligo power.
He's on his
Next up, we got some horny fights here. We got Julia Palastri against the prospect Josephine Knutson from Contender Series. If you guys, let me see the odds here real quick before we get into this. What's her name is? She's actually a pretty decent favorite. So Knutson actually is actively right now minus 180. Palastri's plus 155. But earlier this week, Knutson was over minus 200 favorite. So some money's coming in on the dog. I mean, I see why, and I kind of agree with it. But at the same time, it's also like, is this going to be the dog that everyone thinks is like, oh, this is a fade the Contender Series like hype beast? But Palastri's just average, you know, like 12-3, decent record, 4-fight win streak. She is young, so she's getting better every fight, and she's durable, never been finished. So you know she's always going to be in the fight. Whereas Knutson, this is the girl that trains with Kamzat. Chimaev. She's undefeated prospect. She's 7-0 and then 8-fight win streak, and she's really a grinder, like grappler. She's a grappler that doesn't get submissions. You know, like that. How does that make sense? But yeah, so she's positioned over everything, and then she doesn't really knock people out, but she can strike. But she's the one that beat Marnik Mann in her debut when our homeboy Hype Killer was like, yeah, Marnik Mann, she's the best. It's like the two top female fighters right now, her and who's the one from PFL? Aspen Ladd. So so that's what the vibes he was on. But yeah, no, for me, I understand. I mean, I think it's not a coin flip fight. I think Knutson's the rightful favorite. I do have hesitations laying minus 180 or minus 200, wherever it is. If it gets cheaper, I might fire on her. But for now, for the sake of the show, I'm going to say Palastri as a dog is going to be what I prefer here. But I haven't fired it.
Yeah, I just have to go with the Swede.
Sweden. She's supposed to be the real deal. I mean, she is good, and she's very muscular. It's just like the weight cut is also something everybody should be looking out for because sometimes she does struggle as well. Next up here, we got some yellow excellence. This is the yellow card, right? Because they got the headliners, a Japanese dude. But we got Jeka Saragi from Indonesia. Very rare. 14-3, you know, short, stocky guy, about 5'8", but he packs a punch. You know, he's mainly a knockout guy. He's going to throw wild looping shots. And he most recently beat Lucas Alexander by knockout in the first round. But then red flag, debut fight, he fought Anshu Jubilee the Indian guy and got finished by the Indian guy. And that Indian guy was also a guy that like has given up before. So we don't really know how good he is. But then we got Mr. Chinny here, Weston Wilson, 16-9, 35 years old, bro. I mean, grappler mostly, but he never wins a decision, or he hasn't won a decision. He either finishes or gets finished. So, but I mean, he's fought Gene Silva and Joanderson Brito, who I think are way better than Jekka Saragi. So, you got to put that into account as well. And then Saragi's minus 335. And Weston Wilson's plus 275. So, I mean, for the pick, I'm going Saragi. I think he's obviously the rightful favorite. Do I think he warrants a minus 330? Nah, that's kind of a little too much. But if you're greasy with it, and you want to, it's an early fight, you can throw it in the parlay and see, But other than that, I mean, the price ain't right. Maybe by knockout.
Boom.
Who do you like?
I'll probably go with the Indo. He's Indonesian, right?
Indo while watching that Indo. Yeah.
Yeah. Weston Wilson, I don't know. He got a sus name. Like, I don't know. He's been like doing mid, so like, yeah, bro.
Yeah. If you guys like props here, I like Saragi. No, I wouldn't recommend it though. Saragi by knockout is minus 200, so you already know it's like the only way to win. Yeah, it's like what the hell.
To be honest, I wouldn't even like touch this fight probably unless maybe a confident greasy parlay, maybe early. But yeah, at the same time, his fight is kind of sus. Just a lot of these undercard fights, I'm not really too familiar with these people, so
Yeah, and if you're not familiar, it's hard to lay minus 300 or 400 on someone like that. Exactly. Okay, more horny fights. Back to the horniness. We got Carly Judas. And then 3-1. She got a prospect, 25 years old here. She beat your girl Ernesta.
She lost
split decision only.
Ernesta.
Or she lost by split.
That was a fight on the contender, which I low-key thought she won this fight. It was a close fight. Who's the other girl?
So she's kind of people still like her, right? So she's more of a grappler, I believe. So that's why they're trying to develop her a little bit. But we'll see, man. I mean, she might be a kickboxer. My bad. I'm over here loaded. But yeah, and she's the underdog, by the way, in this matchup. Let me just pull up who she's going against here. But yeah, she's going against Gabriela Fernanda, 8-3. Brazilian prospect here, but on a 2-fight losing streak. 30 years old, never been finished. Very durable. That's another thing. But she's lost to Teresa Bleda, who's pretty decent. Jasmine Judavicius is even a little more decent. So, you can't falter too much. But as far as what I like here, I actually like taking a shot on the dog here. I just think the odds should be a little closer. Where's Judas here? Judas is oh wow, she's down to plus 135. Damn, that's a little rough. I got her at plus 185, and some people got her at plus 200. I think it's worth the shot. I mean, she's still plus money, so you could argue that you could have a little value on there still. But I think this fight should be around like this price, or maybe even closer to pick'ems. In my opinion, I think Judas is just undervalued because it's disappointing debut in the Contender Series she had. So I think she's kind of set up here because the UFC does want her to kind of win. I mean, not that matters, but they've given her the opportunity for a winnable fight, to kind of get her career back on course.
Yeah, and I was going to say it's a UFC debut, but it's also at the same place where she fought. So I don't know, but I'll probably just go with the Brazilian.
Yeah, probably a little more well-rounded there on the Brazilian side. Okay, we're getting in here. Some white excellence here. A couple of white excellent fights in a row. Get your Budweiser ready. We got Garrett Armfield, 10-3, 2-fight win streak, still young, 27 years old. A lot of these young cats, man, never been knocked out, only does the knocking out. And most recently, if you remember, he actually upset Brad Katona, I believe. And I don't know if he was at the underdog. He was underdog, yeah. So upset by decision. And Brad Katona is, very well respected technically.
But also, I thought that was like a controversial fight too.
Robbery?
Katona won. Yeah.
Yeah, the decision. He also beat Kasama. And then the only person he lost to recently, it looks like, was his debut in the UFC against David Onama, who's a beast. So, no hate there. And then you got Brady Heastan. You guys probably know him from the show Ultimate Fighter, 7-2. He's still young, 25 years old, man. Well-rounded fighter. Just doesn't really look intimidating, but he's technically sound. He's fought some monsters, Baccarel. And by monster, I just mean guys that are down to throw punches, not actually good. But Fernie Garcia, but he lost to Ricky Tercios in his debut, right? So at split decision. So I think he's kind of like that vibe. He's a little more aggressive, white Tercios. That's the vibe he's on to me. But I it's hard to swallow here, but I like Heastan here as far as the odds go. I think him as an underdog right now, plus 155 is pretty decent. I don't love it, but I just think that he has a better chance than what the odds indicate. I think it's going to be closer to Pick'ems as well. And this is coming from a guy that bet on Armfield against Brad Katona. So I'm going Heastan here, plus 155, because I think now you're overrating Armfield off that win. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was an underdog in the Katona fight, and now you got to pay minus 180 for him. I just think that's a little too much of a flip. So that's why if it was a pick'ems, I'm going Armfield. But Heastan here for me. Who do you like? Which white?
Yeah, I was thinking about going with Armfield, but yeah, you're right. You might have to just go with Brady.
Yeah, he's gaining more experience, and he's actually really young still. So I think there's a lot of potential there. But one of those, it's going to come down to another like gross acid decision. Possibly a split, one of those things. But here we go. Oh, we're bringing it to the Trailer Park. Trailer Park fights, Bo. We got Nate Maness against Jimmy Flick, one of the OGs of Redneck Jiu-Jitsu. If you guys like Redneck Jiu-Jitsu, but this guy right here, he's trying to make America great again. Mayhem Maness, 15-3, 32 years old, though. He's 5'10", pretty tall for the weight division, well-rounded as well. But he's going to try to typically grapple. But I think in this spot here, he's going to try to strike because Jimmy Flick, he's a ground guy, all jiu-jitsu. Yeah. So I think, Maness is going to try to keep it standing. He's only lost the Bekovs and Magomedovs and stuff, So I think
I was looking at.
Yeah, and then he's going to be able to win. And he actually upset our boy, and I lost on this fight too because I bet Madonka, but he beat up Madonka. First round knockout, bro.
You got it, don't.
Crazy.
You got it, don't.
So, yeah, I'm going on that side, but the odds are going to be crazy here. So just letting you know, it's one of those greasy parlay pieces. Nate Maness is minus 500 right now. Jimmy Flick plus 375, yeah. I think it got moved from like 300, minus 300 to 500, just based on people putting it in their parlays. But understandably, I agree with it. I'm putting it in mine. You should put it in yours if you're greasy with it. Jimmy Flick, 17-7, 33 years old. He just came back from taking a huge break. He's never knocked anybody out. He's only subbed people.
He was doing good in his last fight. Then he lost, right? Who did it against?
Yeah, but the other fights you're talking about, the one before you, Alexander Costa, I think same situation. Like he starts out pretty decent, then he just starts doing too much grappling, and then he starts getting punched up while he's on the ground, and then it just ends from there. So he gets finished. I would look at if you like props and try to get off that minus 500, Maness by either inside the distance or probably that's not a good price either. But I like Maness by knockout. That's Maness by knockout. Oh, this is gross, man. Minus 210.
Damn.
This is disgusting. Maybe you could be greasy and parlay this one. Maness by knockout with who's the other one by knockout? Saregi by knockout. And then just try to do it that way. But yeah, I like that side as well. Jimmy Flick, he could catch anybody, but catch anybody with submission, not punching. Unless he got a beer bottle in his hand. We got next up, bring it back to the Yellow Excellence fight. Tagir Ulanbekov against Joshua Van. Good fight here. Interesting styles. Ulanbekov, without even knowing anything about him, if you just say his name and his flag, you could already assume that he's probably going to have some grappling in there. 15-2, young kid. He looks young, 32 years old, though, from Dagestan. He's never knocked anyone out. He's only submitted or won by decision, but he's also never been finished. So pretty durable. But look at the people he's fighting. They're okay, but Durden, whatever. Maness, he beat up Maness, and he lost to Tim Elliott though, which for some people could be a red flag as well. And it wasn't in his debut either. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and I love Joshua Van, and we talked about him on this show. And we like him a lot. 10-1 here, 22 years old, 8-fight win streak. Like, doesn't get knocked out, knocks people out, has some wrestling. And he's beaten pretty much anyone's in front of him. Yeah.
Hey, always takes the fight short notice. His last couple fights, he took in short notice. Even his debut where he won, and he got a camp for this. So hey, I got to keep riding the wave, man. I got to go for
and here's the odds scene for you. Joshua Van's plus 190 underdog. Ulanbekov is minus 225. So, if you like Van, I mean, there's value as far as, getting that dog money because he's always live, because he got the power for sure. And he's always going to be in the fight as far as durability goes. And but for me, man, I was thinking about this. And I did like Josh Van at first, but I just think this is kind of that the odds kind of say it all here. I think I'm going Ulanbekov here. I know it's kind of juicy, but I would even fire it straight even. Or if you like greasy parlays, but I wouldn't put it in a big parlay. Just fire it straight for me. Maybe by decision. By points is plus 150. I would look at that as well.
What's the over?
Over under is 2.5 at Pick'ems.
Yeah, wow. I think it goes all three.
Yeah, I mean, I do respect Van, and I think he's pretty decently well rounded. So I think he could stay alive. Or I mean, the other end of it, and the reason why I'm not doing the total is he could catch dude and win by knockout. Yeah, because I think that's the most live Van will be, is going to be by knockout.
No, I think he could outpoint him if he's like dominating.
If it stays standing and he can stuff the takedowns, that's going to be the number one, right?
Yeah. But yeah, that he's in back off motherfuckers. They're beastie, but I gotta ride the wave, man.
You gotta count how many Asian dudes win in this fight. And I guess this guy counts as Asian too, kind of. We got Joshua Quinlan against Adam Fugit. Bushido here, 6-2. This guy was supposed to be a prospect, but before USADA dipped, he was busted for steroid use type of vibes, performance enhancement drugs. Once he came back, he was sketch, never the same, and he was still young in his career.
Did he win his last fight or what?
No, he's in 2 losses in a row.
I know
he's a striker. Close. No, his fights though, he never won a decision, but he lost a decent competition. I mean, look at this, Danny Barlow. That's the left hand of God, and that guy's the real deal, or, as far as striking goes. And then Trey Waters just started winning recently too. So he was a big prospect. So I think the competition is going to be really good. So I like Quinlan here, to be honest with you, but let's check out Adam Fugit. Look at this guy, all the way from, where's he from? He looks like he's from Florida or something, but Oregon.
He's from Florida?
He's from Oregon.
Oregon.
But yeah, no, he's well-rounded as well. So you can't sleep on him. I mean, he lost to Mike Mallet, who's some premium, possibly everyone's hyping up as white excellence on the prospect side from Canada. And then he's only lost to Michael Morales, who definitely is a great prospect from Colombia. So, I mean, this guy's pretty decent. You can't sleep on him. A lot of people like him. For me, man, I think this is one of those spots to see if it for Bushido buy low, bro. I like Quinlan. He's minus 125 right now. I think he opened more like a Pick'ems or something like that. I have talked to some people that like Adam Fugit, but I'm gonna stay strong here, and this is my last shot on Quinlan. If he can't win this one or even make weight, then the steroid thing is for real, But I think maybe they're allowing some of the juices back, so yeah, keeping it bending some of the rules. So we're back, Quinlan here as well. Who do you like, bro?
I'm gonna just say fuck it and go with Fugit.
Yeah, this guy looks like Cody Rhodes is trying to push him from the independent scene. Like, oh, this is the next it. He needs to finish his story now.
Begin your story, Fugit.
Man. Okay, we're heating up here. We're going back to some one of these type of guys. Asu Almabayev, another prospect here, 19-2, semi-racially vague, 15 wins, 30 years old here, but looks real young as well. Well-rounded guy, man. I would say this guy's one of the more well-rounded guys. He's not just he's not Dagestani, but he's like from that region in that near that area. I think he's not all about grappling. You know what I'm saying? Like he could mix it up a little bit. Where some guys are one dimensional and then like they just fake the funk with throwing hands just so they can grapple. You know, whereas this guy, I think he can box a little bit. He beat CJ Vergara, Ode Osborne. I mean, they're all right names, not great. But over here, you got Jose Johnson, 16-8. You know, not a great record, but I think he's better than his record as well. He beat Chad Ellinger and lost to Damon Blackshear. And then he's from the Contender Series. But yeah, man, I think I'm gonna go with Alma. I mean, it's not a hot take because he's a huge favorite here. He's minus like 600 or something like this.
Damn. Yeah,
minus 600. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Asu.
Yeah, I'm with Asu as well. Obviously, minus 600 is steep. If it's one of those gross, greasy parlays, I mean, you could kind of throw him in there. But I mean, don't sleep on Jose. That's the only thing that creeps me out. So you might want to look at the market. I also kind of like the over 200, minus 200, 1.5. The over doesn't look too bad as well. Yeah, but it looks like they think Alma Bayo is going to sub this guy real quick.
Well, what is it, minus 200?
The sub is like plus 100 or minus 110, like Pick'ems. So
Schmick'ems.
Yeah, I think this is just a bad matchup for homeboy here. So, you know, Alma Bayo is the real truth. This might be fight of the night for me here. One of them. We got Miles Johns, El Chapo against Douglas Silva de Andrade, man. I know he's old. He looks, and he's Brazilian. He's one of those guys that like, he might be 30, but he looks 40 or 50, you know. But 29-5, 38 years old. That's not good. Knockout guy, very durable, could grapple as well, has BJJ. He got it all. He's only lost to real decent competition. Saeed Nurmagomedov and Lerone Murphy and Peter Yan and Rob Font back in the day. You know, everyone else that's kind of mid-tier, he's beaten. And it just depends on where you put Miles Johns. You know what I'm saying? But for me, and I'll talk about Miles Johns real quick here too, so you can kind of see. But 14-2, I mean, he's also a good prospect. He's well-rounded, you know, but he's not as big of a knockout artist as De Andrade here. And the people he's fought, very medium, you know. And that's kind of the deciding factor for me. I know there's some money going on Miles Johns, but I like the other way. I liked it from the beginning when Andrade was a pick'em, but now he's a plus money, plus 115. Yeah, sign me up. Best bet, one of my best bets of the week. Douglas Silva de Andrade.
Ooh.
Yeah, who do you like, bro?
I never really seen the Andrade fight, but I'm gonna just go with El Chapo just because.
It's the real deal. A lot of money's been coming on him as well. He is the younger fighter. He does have that going for him as well.
But he always
also very well rounded.
He likes to gas a lot though, and I can see the other guys are knockout artists. I can see him knocking them out.
Yeah,
I can see the Brazilian guy knocking Johns out.
You can see who's going to gas first between these two, right? Because that's going to be the kind of deciding factor. Because Andrade, he's pretty relentless, but like I've seen him gas before too. And as you get older, usually your cardio just doesn't automatically get better per se.
Yeah, because this was like swole too. That's why he be gassing.
Mm-hmm. And he'd be trying to. Both these guys are going to try to throw some power behind it too. So, and then here's a low key fight that people might not appreciate as much, but Lucas Almeida, 14-3, 33 years old on a 2-fight losing streak, well-rounded. He's a finisher, and he's beaten. Look at this. He knocked out Andre Fili, and he finished Pat Sabatini most recently. Or sorry, he lost. I'm high. he lost to these two guys, which is respectable. He's beaten some other guys, but also lost to Daniel Zellhuber, which is also, I would think, respectable. Timmy Kwamba, 8-2. They call him Twilight because he probably looks like one of the characters from Twilight. I believe that's how he got his name. But, yeah, he's young prospect. I think he's out of Las Vegas here. Knockout artist, decision guy. He has wrestling as well. And he's only lost by split most recently to Balaji Oki, who's a real strong prospect here. So, I mean, I'm going to make this quick. I'm going with the younger guy, Kwamba, minus 190. You know, some people don't like it. He might get submitted, but I'm going Kwamba. I think he's just gonna finish this guy here. Finish Almeida.
Yeah,
Kwamba by
I'll go with the American as
knockout.
well.
Kwamba by knockout is plus 225. That might be something that you might want to look into as well to sprinkle. I'm gonna earmark that. But yeah, let's go Twilight, bro. Get your Werewolf and Taylor Lautner's out. Next up, we got an interesting co-main event here. We got Ikram Aliskerov, 15-1. I mean, he's one of those Russians, Dagestani type of vibes. 7-fight win streak, all around fighter. Doesn't really lose. He only lost once. When did he lose? He lost to Khamzat Chimaev by knockout.
No.
But other than that, he's beaten everyone. But the people he's fought aren't the best. Look at Warley Alves, Phil Hawes, Mario Souza. Like, he's beaten these people that are just mid. Mid at that time, right? So, but I think they're feeding him more trash, trying to push this guy. These odds are crazy. I don't even know why we're even talking about this shit. But look at the odds here. He's minus. What the fuck? Last time I looked was a couple of days ago. He was minus 900. Now he's minus 1,500. Get out of here, bro. This is crazy.
Nasty. I wouldn't even touch it now.
Yeah, it's not worth touching, but maybe the under. But even the under 1.5 is minus 200. That's like kind of crazy, man. Yeah, I find that hard to believe. What's the knockout prop?
Trocoli.
Ikram is minus 150 for knockouts. So yeah, let's talk about this other guy. I know we kind of ignored him, but we'll mention him. And this is how I know him, at least, because this guy he has the look. Look at here, Rico Suave here, Antonio Tricoli, even sexier. Antonio, okay, 12-3, real tall, got the physique. He's 33 years old, bro. How come you never heard of him in the UFC and he's 33 already, and he already got the look like, this guy's Brazilian Carlos Olberg. You know what I'm saying? He got the look, but it's looking ugly for him. I mean, he might
look like Johnny
look
Walker.
like what?
Johnny Walker.
Yeah, he has that same like build, right? Like that lanky, tall build. He's more handsome. How I know him is I don't know if they're still together or not, but he was Mackenzie Dern's boyfriend after she got divorced. Sheesh. He was the guy that was always in her IG and shit. But I think now they don't post it.
That's the one who was trying to fight somebody, right? Who was he trying to fight? What's his name said that he's trying to set him up? Bobby Green.
Yeah, Bobby Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, is this fool, right? Oh man, I'm weak. But yeah, man. So this guy hasn't fought anyone. I mean, he's only fought for Brazilian Fighting Series 3. He had a no contest overturned in Contender Series in 2019. He's lost in Jungle Fight and Legacy. I mean,
what's the over?
Come on. Over under is 1.5 at minus 200, I believe. Under.
God damn.
Yeah, I mean, I would look at the under too, but like 1.5 at minus money, that's a little tough. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I mean, this is a pass. I mean, I can't even say anything good about the dog. Maybe I'm biased, but yeah, I'm not touching this fight in any way. I'm just probably skip that one, but I would think that he's going to get finished quickly, and he's going to go out on his sword. To the main event here, Alex Perez, Mr. Active, all of a sudden making up for lost times. 25-8, 32 years old. Some people say are now finally getting in his prime and healthy again. Well-rounded. I mean, he made me eat my words when he beat and finished Mateus Nicolau, who I was actually kind of high on, and he finished him quickly as the underdog as well. And now they give him a prospect, which is an interesting matchup. We got Yellow Excellence, Tatsuro Taira, 15-0, only 24 years old on a 24-fight win streak. But obviously he's been fighting in Japan mostly before the UFC. Well-rounded. He could grapple. He got BJJ. He got striking. Yeah, man. I like him. I think that he's the semi-real deal. I don't know about champion quite yet or anything like that, but as far as this matchup, I'm going to go one more time and go against Alex Perez here. I know he looked incredible in his last fight, and he's an underdog again here, but I'm going Taira minus whatever, minus 180, 190. I got him at minus 175, but now he's like minus 190.
You think he could finish him?
I don't know. I didn't bet that. I think he could, but I think Perez is not. Obviously, he's shown most recently like he was looking good, right? Striking and defense and grappling. He can combine it all. So that's my concern. That's why I didn't bet any props yet on that. But yeah, I think he could. I mean, I think it's more likely that he I don't know, would he knock him out or submit him? Because Perez could grapple and he could scramble really well. You know? So that I have no idea. But if you're looking at the props, Taira by knockouts plus 650 and by submissions plus 120. So
yeah, they're
gonna sub him.
I'm gonna have to go with I'm going with Alex Perez, man. USA. Just trying to go. I'm chasing the plus money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that. I mean, after seeing what you last fight like that, that's the one thing that does scare me. Or if this was like the normal Perez before I saw him beat Nicolau, yeah, I'm all over Taira. You know, I doubt that he would even be a minus 175. I'd probably be like minus 220, 230. You know, so yeah, I think Perez is looking a lot better than he did before, and he's proven himself. But one more time, he'll make me a believer if he could get through this kid. Then I'll say Perez is back for a contendership here for the title, and he's back in the picture. But let's. Oh, by the way, PFL. Before we go to best bets, PFL is also coming out tomorrow. So if I release, we drop this tonight, which we plan to, then it'll be tomorrow. Is the PFL and
where are they fighting from?
They're fighting from somewhere in the east. Is it Cleveland? No.
Oh, it's at night, so it's like a regular time.
It's at the prelims at 2 p.m. Pacific, and then the main card I think is like 5 or 6. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where it is, but it's week 4. They're counting as week 4 in the season. So you know, for guys that don't love it, PFL, it's a different set of rules in the sense of there's no elbows. And there's you get points based on how quickly you finish your opponent, and you need those points to make the playoffs in order to fight for the belt and the $1 million bonus. So that's what it is. I had the Tyler Santos I was texting y'all about, and she was minus 260, right? Dude, she's minus 500 right now.
Damn.
Yeah, and you know they were limiting me, and I only could fire it twice. I fired at minus 260. Max bet, and then they only let me put $100 on it to win 100, and then move the line to minus 265. I fired it again only for 100, so I had to keep going. I'm like, bro, what is it? At 500, like I can't do it no more. It's like double the price. You know, I'm not betting five to win 1. You know,
that's crazy.
I mean, throw in a greasy parlay as well for those out there, but a lot of greasy legs for PFL. You know how it is. Best bets, man. We gotta keep riding. We're halfway through the year. Time's flying. So we gotta. What do we got for the people? The Smokeout crew. By the way, thanks y'all for peeping the UFC pay-per-view. 2.4K views. You know that's a record for the Smokeout here, man. That's freaking crazy. Oh, I think our boy is a little frozen here, Nestrowski. Oh no, he's back.
Hold on, are we back?
You back.
Technical, we back, but I think he's gonna say for the Islamic.
Oh yeah, I was just saying the episode, the pay-per-view. Oh, you didn't hear it. I was thanking the folks in the Smokeout crew, you know, from Smokeout universe that we got 2.4K views on that. That's an all-time high and all-time record for the Gen G Productions, for Gen G Universe, for for Smokeout for sure. So I appreciate y'all, bro. Y'all didn't follow it up well with Louisville, but it's okay. It's okay. It's all good. We're coming back.
Shout out to Islam fans.
Yeah, shout out to
peace, brother. Peace in the Middle East.
But yeah, what do you got for the people?
But yeah, man, I'm gonna do a straight up bet right off the top. Alex Perez for the Mexicanos.
Plus 165.
Yup. Also, I want to do straight up Joshua Van.
Oh, we get that plus money.
And damn near straight up bet with Shay Elon Nurbandiki.
So we got Van plus 190, and then Nurembicki. I believe he's an underdog as well. Nurembicki, yep, plus 165. So he giving you the all plus money.
And then a parlay, the Iskram,
Ikram,
Timmy Kwamba,
Kwamba,
Asu,
Asu,
and Miles Johns. Okay.
El Chapo. All right, man. Let's see. For me, we're gonna go. What was the one I loved here? Oh yeah, I already fired her about. I see she's still plus money, so we're quarter down as plus money. We got Carly Judas plus 135. Judas plus 135. We have Tagir Ulan Bekov minus 225. Ulan Bekov. Then we got Douglas Silva de Andrade plus 115. Andrade plus 115. And the last one. My boy Timmy Kwamba minus 190. Yeah, we're going there. Those are for the people. I hope we keep the train rolling here. We're halfway through. So, we got time. There's a lot of MMA left. The road to the sphere is starting. If you guys haven't watched Ultimate Fighter, with the two ladies coaching, they're going to go for their kind of trilogy, right? Their quadrilogy.
No, it's the third fight.
No, they fought 3 times, right? Didn't they?
No, just twice.
I thought, and one of them was a draw.
One of them was a submission, and then the draw.
Oh, the second one. We were at the second one. I remember I had a bet on Shevchenko, a big bet, and I was like, "What the?" Grasso was so juiced, though. She was so juiced that she kept her belt.
So, what do you think about this Conor shit?
Hey, okay. I think it's hilarious because we were always talking about it from the beginning how the price and the way they were like making it a big deal. You can't really rely on Conor. He just has that star power. But like, if you really about that MMA, he's like influential. But now he's like not even his mind. Who knows where it is? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not surprised. But it sucks for people that are investing or like hardcore fans that like the people wanted to go to the press conference. Like that shit got canceled, and then now the fight's in jeopardy. And what if you bought your tickets already? Like they were telling people pre-sale and $1,500 and
all the people flying like from Ireland and stuff like that.
Yeah, and if y'all didn't already know or didn't check the tickets, like the cheapest nosebleeds is $1,500 or something like that.
It's $800, but after fees gonna be at least a rack. So
over a rack, right? So, but do you think they're gonna even try to lower it for people? I mean, they really can't because
they have to because then like nobody's gonna buy it if it's like a week. You know what I mean?
But how about the people that already bought it from Ticketmaster?
They're fucked. They're fucked. It sucks to say, but that's all you can do because then you can't even sell your ticket for like your money back because you're not gonna get it. Like
hell yeah.
Because like this is like because now if the Conor fight's off, the card is like whatever. Even like Khalil Roundtree got off the fight. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
what are we doing here?
The main event you would have to put it would have to be MVP versus Ian Gary.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, you're like, that's not the value you're getting for that thing there. That's crazy. That's crazy. Bro.
Yeah, so hopefully Conor fights, but like I don't know. They keep playing around saying, "Oh, it doesn't look too good now." And it's literally now. It's actually like 2.5 weeks away. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
oh shit! It is at the end of the month, right?
Yeah, I mean, time's flying. So it's already coming up.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, no, I'm just glad I'm not involved in that. Like, I hope it happens. And I hope everyone enjoys because I'm gonna watch it. And
you might be able to go now because that should have probably dropped. Like, if Conor doesn't fight, I'm saying it's gonna drop down to like $300, bro.
Yeah. Like, if I can get in the door for under 300, including fees, I'll tell y'all now. I'll probably be.
If Conor fight fails, it's gonna go down to 300 because like
it needs to.
A lot of people will probably even like who's gonna fly over just bite the flight and then bite the ticket and try to
just salvage
because it's like because it's still it is still International Fight Week, but it's like everybody's here for Conor.
Yeah, Yeah, you're right. But yeah, people might still go, and then they're like, fuck it, we're just gonna go crazy and just be fucked up drunk. People might start fights and stuff. They don't give about the card, or like everyone's gonna show up hella late for sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, man. Hope y'all check it out. Also check out group chat on Wax. We'll be returning this week, or I'll be returning to the show this week. So till then, smoke out, peace out. Don't coke out.
If you want.